everybody. Welcome to another edition of Around the Piano, sponsored by Piano Trends Music and Lifting Spirits Through Music and 216 Creator Studios. And Drew, how you doing back there, Mr. Cappuccino?
Yo, good, Tim. How you been, man?
Doing great, What am I leaving out? We got to do some important things, like we got to ring a bell, we got to subscribe.
That's right.
Right.
If you like the show, feel free to check us out at 216 Creator Studios. Go to that YouTube channel, 216 Creator Studios. Hit the live tab. That's going to be the most recent content. Go ahead and like it, share it, subscribe to it, and don't forget to ding that bell, because that's going to give you the future notifications of whatever's coming down, especially for Around the Piano. And we have all kinds. We have about 30 shows now out there, Tim. So there's all their great content that people could be watching just the same.
What I love is the one of my favorite shows that 216 Creative Studios has been doing is Let's Talk Local, which I've been involved in a couple times. But it's a great show where you actually get to know some of the local entrepreneurs that are out there and some of the stories that come out locally. So you want to watch for Let's Talk Local, especially. And if you want to keep following Around the Piano and Lifting Spirits, you can go to youtube.com/piano trends and check the playlist. You'll find all the podcasts that we do here in that playlist as well. So again, ring that bell, subscribe. That helps us, and it lets us know that you're watching.
Absolutely. And don't forget, if it came down to the gun and kids are getting out of school now, but soon they'll be back in school. So feel free to check out Piano Trends for the next instrument. Your kids going to band? They service anything throughout the United States. Just check out their website. What's that website there?
That is pianotrends.com. In fact, we had a few band instrument rentals sitting on our website when we walked in this morning. So thank you for that. And you can rent your instruments right online. It's real easy. We can ship it to your home. You can pick it up at the store. We make it easy and we make it affordable. It's for every child to be involved in music.
Yeah. You want to pull that mic a little closer to you, my man?
Yeah. That a little better?
Yeah, it's a little bit better.
Yeah, because I got a soft voice,
You're soft spoken.
I'm soft spoken.
Yeah. Awesome. So, hey, listen, we have an awesome guest today. And he's been doing what he does for many years of greatness. Why don't you go ahead and introduce him?
We certainly have. And this is a gentleman that I've known for many, many, many years. Denny.
Many years?
Well, remember, I think the first time we met, I was tuning your piano.
Yeah. At Harvard.
Yeah. Denny Diamond, one of the top Neil Diamond tribute artists in this entire country. If you haven't seen him or heard him, you would definitely want to do it. So welcome to the show, Denny.
Thank you. It was a little bit rough trying to get here, wasn't it?
It sure was, right? Yeah, I know we were going to do this show last week before your show at the Rouse Center, but you were in the middle of Cowfield somewhere in Michigan, and the reception just was not going to work. So, how did the show go Friday or Saturday night?
Oh my gosh, it went really well. We had about around 600 people.
Yeah.
We had some fun. I'm not very reverent about being a tribute artist, so so there was a lot of joking around and stuff.
Well, in fact, I mentioned earlier before we came on, I love your T-shirts. You stand up and show everybody. Dad jokes is how I roll.
Dad jokes is how I roll, baby.
So tell me your favorite dad joke.
Usually if I'm in a restaurant and the waitress says, would you like a box for that? I'll usually say, no, but I'll wrestle you.
Drew, Aldrin, help me remember that, because we're going to use that later. We will steal that.
I don't have a snare or a cymbal, but I'll do for the day.
I like it. That's excellent. No, that's a good one. So how long have you been doing Neil Diamond?
I've been doing the Neil Diamond since, I think 1999 would be a good start date. And then in 2000, I was on a Dick Clark show. And that's what really helped make it take off for me. So
that's excellent.
Before that, for 22 years before that, I was doing musicals and things, and I even did a little opera in my day.
Did you really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear you sing some Neil Diamond in an operatic voice, maybe in the future. There.
Well, that's part of my thing at the end of Song Sung Blue. I don't know if you Song Sung Blue is actually, I think it's basically a ripoff of Mozart's Piano Concerto Number 21 in the key of C. If you were to listen to that, you'd hear Song Sung Blue right away. The reason it's a little bit different is because Neil wasn't the best guitar player in the world. So when he went to copy it, he didn't know how to play the minor chords. So the whole thing's straight major.
That's interesting. See, that's cool background on a song that obviously has become, you hear that, you know the song and you know who did it. Yep. And he's got so many of those tunes that are out there.
Yeah. Oh, he does. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, just to get a laugh, I'll say, I'll open the request line. What do you want to hear? And, everybody's shouting something else out. It's almost like, you can hear 50 different requests, it's never the same one. So,
I'm sure not. Song sung Caroline or something like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I got a question.
Yeah.
So what was it like being approached by Dick Clark's production to do the big break?
What happened was, it was pretty interesting. It was very secretive. When I was singing karaoke at a bar. I was a computer programmer. I had a client in Arizona. We were blowing steam off because we had to stay the weekend, and they had I sang Forever in Blue Jeans. I'm sorry, Forever at this bar doing karaoke, and the guy walks up to me and he says, "Hey man, when you calm down and give me a call." And it was just a card. It has his name on it and a number, nothing else. So when I called, it was Dick Clark Studios, or Dick Clark Productions. And
oh, cool.
Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm a producer for this, your big break and we want you to audition." I'm like, "Okay." So that's how that happened.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it was different. I didn't want to do it. I was singing at Nicolino's in McHenry, and they talked me into it. They actually drove me out to the audition. So
being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I just happened to be, having margaritas at a bar in Arizona, blowing off of steam on a weekend.
That's excellent. So what's your favorite Neil Diamond tune to sing?
He's got one called Hell Yeah. It was released in 2005 on his 12 songs CD. Yeah. And it's kind of like, some people call it his My Way. I like to say it's the extension of I Am I Said.
Okay.
But, it's the last verse of the song says, and if they asked you when I'm gone, was it everything he wanted? When it was time to travel on, did he know he'd be missed? You can tell them this. Hell yeah, he did. I think it's really strong lyrics in that song.
That's excellent. That's
yeah.
Great story.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever met Neil in person, or have you ever had any contact with him?
I've had contact with him. It's funny because in the beginning, when I first started out, his personal assistant would write occasionally and say, "Hey, we know you're out there," and so that was a little intimidating. But I did a show out in Las Vegas with his band. So I played with Ronnie Tutt, Mark. What's Mark's last name? Anyway, and Tom Hensley, piano player.
Yeah.
Tom Hensley, an amazing piano player. But yeah, I was, and the bass player, his name is escaping me now. I played with his band. I met his wife one time at the stadium. She's very nice, but I've never met him.
Okay.
He's a little standoffish from what I gather, from what I've heard about him.
Okay. Well, I know obviously he's going through difficulties now health-wise since being diagnosed with the Parkinson's, which he's probably had now for several years. And I know he's off the touring circuit now.
So, oh yeah, since 18. He retired suddenly in the middle of his 50th anniversary tour.
Well, I remember my wife and I, we were actually, he was performing at, remember when they used to call Allstate Arena the Rosemont Horizon?
Oh, yeah. Yep. In the round, he did it there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we caught Neil Diamond there, and it happened to be on his 45th birthday.
Huh.
So that was a trip. That was a great evening. But
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
But now it's even more important than ever to keep his music going out there and doing it live, is for people like you out there who pay tribute literally to his music. And people come out, obviously they're coming out to hear, they want to hear Neil Diamond music, but they want to hear some of the stories behind the music. And I know you've already shared a couple with us. What are some of the cool stories behind some of the music or some of the performances that Neil has done?
One of my favorites is, if not my favorite, is the story behind Cracklin' Rosie. Cracklin' Rosie, a lot of people thought, some places thought it was about a lady of the evening, but it's not. It's actually about a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Yeah, the story goes that in some of the reservations way up north in Alaska, they're so cold that there's more men than women, which is obviously not an everyday occurrence. But so Neil was being interviewed. He found this out, and he said, well, what do these guys do on the weekends? There's nobody to go out with. And the story is they cash their checks. They reach that lower case at the liquor store, and they come up with this cheap bottle of wine, which is called Crackling Rosé.
Crackling Rosie.
Yeah, there you got Crackling Rosie. The other one I like to do, and I just love it, is Play Me. It starts with that arpeggio, and the ladies just swoon over it. She was morning and I was nighttime. Well, it's about his guitar. It's not about a lady. It's about a guitar. Because I always say, ladies, show of hands, how many of you would, if some guy was sleeping and you're sleeping next to his bed, right? That's the line in the song. I one day woke up to find her lying beside my bed. I softly said, come take me, I said, which one of you ladies would lay beside some guy's bed and wait for him to roll over and say, come here? It's about a guitar. Yeah, the song's about a guitar.
That's interesting. See, those are cool stories. So there's always hidden meanings in some of these songs.
Oh, yeah, there's a ton of them. I said it's a huge, long story.
Wow. That's real. See, those are the interesting things that a lot of times people don't know, but you share that in your performances during the evening.
Oh yeah, I have and Neil mentioned me in an article. He was being interviewed on the East Coast. He was about to start one of his tours, and he started it in Pennsylvania. And he mentioned me in one other band in the act, because he said, I don't understand why people want to try to recreate what I've already done. Guys will get all dressed up and say it's the hot August night or whatever.
Right.
And he said, I appreciate Super Diamond, they're out of San Francisco, and Denny Diamond, because they use my music for their show to create the show, not to try to recreate something. So I get a bunch of laughs with some of the Neil stuff.
See, but that's cool. And the fact that he acknowledges that's important. And that should tell people when they come out to see a show, they're not coming out to see just a recreation of Neil Diamond. They're coming out and seeing stories behind the music, and they're still getting the music. And you didn't sound like them, so it's
people tell me I do. I'll really hear it, but
yeah, well, you do, because people are in the mindset when they come out to a tribute show, they want to hear that. So even if you're close, they're enjoying the music that they've got memories with, or they wouldn't have been at that show. Those 600 people that were at the Rouse Center with you know Neil Diamond's music, and they've got special memories of at least one of those songs.
Yeah.
And likely it's Sweet Caroline, but and I'm sure that brings the house down every time you sing it, and you got everybody up and singing with it.
Yeah, they all look forward to it. I mean, to me, I'm like, oh my God, not Sweet Caroline again. But we all have fun when it gets started. If you got a lively audience, like the people at the Row had a good time. We did a reprise of it because they wanted to hear it again. So
sure, you have to.
Yeah. It was fun. That was, I mean, I really appreciate the people in McHenry County a lot. I started in McHenry County, and they've all been over the years so supportive of me. I get teary eyed, because it's so nice that you get a little love every once in a while,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what you do it for, because you don't do it for money, obviously.
Oh, no. Come on, we're in music. I saw a chart on Facebook yesterday. It said, I do it so my parents are proud of me. Had for the adulation, something else. And then it said for money, right? And so the money part of the graph was green, but there was no green on the graph anywhere.
That's awesome. So what's your schedule this summer? Do you have gigs lined up for the summer in the area, or are you going to be out touring elsewhere?
Yeah, I'm going to be in, I have my son, Luke, he still works with me. We used to, I don't know if you remember, we were a little trio before, my sons and I.
I do remember. Sure.
Yeah. And COVID broke that up. They get jobs. They got real jobs. But my son, Luke, still plays with me occasionally. And we do a thing called a Neil Diamond Story acoustic. And It's kind of a Jim Croce type of setup. He's my Maury. He does the background singing, and I just strum, and he does the lead parts. So It's really a fun little show. It sold out in Arlington Heights in April, and we're doing it in a little theater called the Moonlight Theater in St. Charles.
Okay.
And I hope maybe people can come out to that. Otherwise, I'll be in Bolingbrook. I always do my lunch shows in White Fence Farm.
That's right. You're there all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be doing a couple of little like Porch Fest in Mount Morris, where a bunch of solo singers go out and play the guitar and sing. And where else? And Fermenting Cellars is a nice little winery right up in Janesville that I'll be at too. So if you check the site, you'll see I try to make it look nice and show where I'm at.
Oh, that'd be great. And that's at dennydiamond.com?
Yes. Yeah.
We will direct people there for sure for that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's Luke. It's my son. It's a fun show. I really have a good time with that show.
Is this an actual video or?
Yeah. It's Luke and I doing Neil's Beautiful Noise.
Can we hear a little bit of that?
Yeah, play it. Oh, we got to hit the volume thing down there. Yeah. Nothing.
You guys sound great.
It doesn't come through.
We hear it from our side. I'm hoping the camera's picking it up.
Okay.
Can you not hear it on your side?
No, I don't hear it here.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess we'll have to see back in the recording.
That's right.
Well, that was a beautiful noise. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Great though.
yeah, it did. That's awesome. I want to invite you, Denny, and your son, if you like, stop in sometime and do a 10-minute set on lifting spirits through music. Would love to share.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Does it have to be Neil? Can I do whatever I want?
You can do whatever you want. That's the way we roll on lifting spirits. We usually make it up as we go.
Yeah,
So,
I like that.
yeah, whatever you want to do, it'd be fun. But yeah, that's
I'd love
great.
to.
Well, I'm glad to see you. You're going to be definitely many places this summer where people can get out to see you and listen to your music. And It's not all going to be Neil Diamond. Then I'm assuming that you'll do some other tunes as well.
No, and during COVID, I was getting bored, so I started bringing out all my old songs. I used to do, like I said, musicals and everything. And I decided to call myself the world's okayest vocalist. And I do a show I call the world's okayest vocalist variety hour, where I sing, from Rodgers and Hammerstein to Kenny Rogers, So, and that show's doing just as well as my Neil Diamond show, because I do the same thing. I tell stories and make it a variety show, So, but yeah, just check the website. I keep that updated all the time.
We definitely will do that. And we definitely will share that. Again, it's neildiamond.com. And Denny, it's been great having you with us here today.
It's good to see you again.
Denny, that's DennyDiamond.com, right?
What did
Unless Neil's cutting us a check.
See, you're so much like Neil Diamond. I got it confused.
Right. There he is.
Quick question for you, Denny. For inspiring young music artists that are coming out, you've been doing this for such a long time. What advice would you give the new generation of musicians moving forward?
You know what? There's nobody taking the place of a Dean Martin or Frank Sinatra.
Right.
So I mean, if you wanted, to me, the old music needs to be continued, and it's not being continued. So if you have that in you, I would say, cut a new path and take the old and bring it new, because there's nobody doing that. You don't see somebody sit at a piano and singing.
No, you don't. I mean, listen, with the name of Cappuccino, you knew I grew up with the Rat Pack.
Yeah.
A little Chicago Italian kid and our family, and I still listen to all that stuff. It would be great to see the newer generation continuing writing songs back into that tone, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, you just don't have that anymore. There's no song out now that you're going to see somebody sit at a piano at the Grand in Michigan and Mackinac and play. They're not going to sit down and beat out something and then start rapping. Right. You need that. You need that music, the musicality and the music and the voice. And for me, I'm a big voice guy.
Yeah, I hear you. Big band voice.
Yeah.
I
would say don't be just like everybody else. Go and be like it used to be. You find that real music and bring it back.
Yeah, I love it.
It would be awesome. I always have hope for that, because there is so much, there's talent out there. And I hate to say in our day, but in our day, if you made a mistake, you had to start over.
Yeah.
Today you just, with this equipment, you correct it.
That's right.
So it would be nice if we get young people to just hone your craft and work on it and make it original. And don't color it with technology. Just make it original.
Nobody wants to hear a robot voice anymore.
That's right.
No, or an exact drum beat for that matter.
Well,
exactly.
It's
you don't hear like the Ringo Starr changing on the measure changes. He starts a different, pattern, or however he did it.
I love listening to vinyl more than I do anything digital.
Okay.
Just because of the original sound of it coming off of a record player.
Absolutely.
It's that nostalgic authenticity feeling to it.
It does.
Yep, exactly. I mean, you just know when they're in the studio, they were mic'd up doing the songs, and they were thinking of it and playing it, and they put something else in all of a sudden,
Yeah.
You don't get that anymore.
You don't.
Well, next time you're in town, feel free. We have a vocalist room being built as we speak here at the studio. You want to come in and rip out an album, you're more than welcome to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's the website, right? 216 Creative Studio.
Yep. Yeah. Actually, you just get a hold of Tim. He's in charge of all the music stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that.
You come on over. We'll show you the studios. We'll take a walk around, do a tour, and
Is it in Piano Trends? Where are you guys located?
Yeah, we're in right. It is at Piano Trends. We're in the building right next door.
Okay.
It's half warehouse in the basement, And then upstairs we've got studios. So
Oh.
it's pretty. It's really a cool setup. Thanks to Drew and his buddy Kent.
Yeah.
Things are looking really great here.
Oh, neat.
We're slowly convincing him to get rid of all the pianos downstairs so we can make a concert
Slowly.
venue. I say it every time, and I know it's in his head. He's like, "Stop saying it."
Stop saying that.
So
I wish I could. I have a little piano right next to me. I mean, I wish that I like to play. I hurt my I had surgery on my neck back in 2016, and it's just slowed my left hand down.
Oh, no kidding.
So, yeah, so even my guitar playing is way different than it used to be. But yeah, I love. There's a Michael Bublé song. You were always on my mind, where it's just a piano and him. I love that sound. I wish I could do it.
I'm speaking somebody from this generation that is reviving the old music and doing his own style. Michael Bublé. We need more people like that.
Oh,
yeah. Well, the youngins are out there. You see some of the videos on YouTube of the concert.
Yep.
You put up a young kid who has a voice, right? And
Maybe-
starts singing his songs.
Yeah, we should get Aldrin in that audience because
Aldrin should be in there.
should be in there. He can do this.
multi-talent. I hate that kid.
Yeah, I know.
He's so talented. I hate
I
it.
can't hear him in the bag, you know. But we'd love to have you here, Denny, anytime.
Yeah,
Just let
absolutely.
us know. We'll show you the band recording room that we're doing that we also have for auditions, the vocalist room, and then around the piano podcast studio. So it'll be a lot of fun. We'll do a whole day of it.
Yeah, I'll get a hold of you and I'll get out there.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again, Denny, for being with us. We'll have
thank
you
you.
back again. And smile, be kind, keep on keeping on, everybody. Thank you for watching Around the Piano. We'll see you.